It's long, and there it is. And he's absolutely furious, Djokovic. He's
May 24th, 2025, Geneva, Switzerland. One of tennis's greatest icons, Novak Djokovic, lets loose a storm of frustration in a moment that shocked fans around the world. Was this just a meltdown or a calculated cry for help? This is the story behind the smash that echoed far beyond the clay. Let's rewind. Djokovic entered the 2025 Geneva Open after a rocky start to the season. A string of early exits, whispers about declining motivation, and the looming shadow of younger stars like Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz had begun to shape the narrative. This wasn't the dominant Novak of 2011 or even 2021. This was a man fighting not just opponents, but himself. Facing 44th ranked Tomas Mašek in the semifinal, Novak needed a win to regain momentum heading into Roland Garros, but from the first game, something felt off. Unforced errors, labored movement, and visible tension. The match wasn't just slipping away, it was screaming out for something to break, and something did. His second set, trailing 5-4. Mašek hits a deep return. Djokovic lunges, barely makes contact, and looks up in disbelief, convinced the ball was out. The umpire doesn't flinch. No overrule, no Hawkeye at this ATP 250. Djokovic protests, but play resumes. 2 points later, it's over. The crowd applauds Mašek. Djokovic walks to his bench, and then it happens. In one swift motion, he grabs his racket and slams it into the metal frame of the umpire's chair. Not once, but twice. The sound echoes, the crowd gasps, and Geneva goes silent. He receives a code violation, of course, but more than that, a storm brews. Online, in the press, in locker rooms, this wasn't just a tantrum, it was a signal, a break in the dam. Social media exploded within minutes. Uncharacteristic, childish, desperate. Others, however, saw something else. Vulnerability, humanity, the pressure of being Novak Djokovic in the twilight of his career. In the post-match interview, Novak didn't dodge the elephant in the room. He said, and we quote, "It's not nice, of course. I'm sorry for doing that, but I cracked under pressure. Simple as that." But what did he really mean? Is this a confession that the weight of expectations, age, and fading dominance is finally getting to him? Or is it a clever misdirection to draw attention away from tactical flaws and focus it on emotion? Djokovic is no stranger to controversy, from his 2020 US Open default to vaccine standoffs and press boycotts. His career has been as dramatic as it has been dominant. And that's what makes this moment so powerful. It's not about a broken racket, it's about a crack in the image of invincibility. Let's zoom out. 2025 has been a seismic shift in men's tennis. Jannik Sinner is world number one. Carlos Alcaraz is a two-time slam champion. Medvedev, Rune, and even Mašek are rising forces. Djokovic, he's titleless this season, and the clay, once his fortress, now feels foreign. Physically, Novak's movement isn't what it was. Recovery times are longer, rallies feel shorter. Strategically, younger opponents are adapting to his patterns. Psychologically, the burden of sustaining greatness may finally be taking its toll. This moment in Geneva isn't just about frustration, it's about transition. From alpha to elder, from world beater to legend in decline. And perhaps Novak knows this chapter is coming to a close, but he wants to write the ending on his terms. Is this smash his way of saying, I still care, don't count me out? Or even, this game has changed, and I don't like what it's becoming. In sports, we often mistake rage for weakness, but sometimes rage is purpose in disguise. So, what happens now? Djokovic heads to Roland Garros with no titles in 2025, questions swirling and pressure mounting, but let's not forget he's bounced back before. In 2018, after elbow surgery and public doubt, he won Wimbledon. In 2021, he nearly pulled off a calendar Grand Slam. But this time, it feels different. Not because he's physically incapable, but because he might be mentally done with being Superman, and that's okay. Geneva may not be his downfall. It could be his signal flare to fans, to rivals, to himself. A final, furious roar before the curtain begins to fall. Whether you love him or loathe him, Novak Djokovic has given tennis some of its greatest chapters. This moment, raw, unscripted, human, may not belong in highlight reels, but it does belong in history. Because sometimes the most unforgettable moments aren't about trophies, or yes, they're about truth. If you found this breakdown insightful, smash that like button. But not as hard as Novak did. Subscribe for more deep dives into the drama, history, and legends of tennis.